Welcome to the new lesson of English verbs. Today's lesson is about modal verb. Modal verbs are auxiliary verbs used with main verb to express ability, wish, promise, desire, permission, suggestion, obligation, likelihood, possibility, etc. Modal verbs are those auxiliary verbs which are used before main verb to express ability, wish, promise, desire, permission, obligation, suggestion, likelihood, possibility, etc. These are the modal verbs. Here you can see can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must, need, dare, ought to, used to. Before going through the details of all these models, I would like to revise quickly the verb. You see that verb has been divided into two categories. First one auxiliary and the main verb. Auxiliary verb, it means helping verb. Main verb, regular and irregular. Regular, it means in first form of the verb, which is known as main verb, if ed is added, then it becomes second form and third form. Any first form of the verb, if we add ed, then it converts into second and third form. This is known as regular verb. But if there is no such rule, it means first form, second form, third form, all three are different, or two are same but third is different one, then it is irregular verb. So there are two categories of main verb. One is regular and one is irregular. First form is known as base form, it is present form. Second form is known as past form, and third form is known as past participle. Okay, so here these are the main verb. Now if we talk about auxiliary verbs, so auxiliary verb, you can see the first one, to be, it is, am, are, was, were, is, am, are, was, were. And if I talk about do, so do, does, did, that is the form of do. Then have, has, had. And modal verbs can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, need, dare, used to and ought to. These are all modal verbs or auxiliary verb, which means helping verb. So these modal verbs are used as a helping verb and it is used before first form of the verb. It is used before first form of the verb. Modals are used before first form of the verb. Now come to the modal lesson. See, in modal lesson we are going to study much about first person, second person and third person. So you must know that what is first person. First person, it means I and we come under first person. You comes under second person and remaining are in third person. So whenever I say first person, it means I and we. Second person means you, and rest of them are in third person. So in modal verbs we are going to study about first person, second person and third person. Today's modal verb, first one which we are going to study, that is will. Will modal verb. Will is used to show simple future, and it is used, will is used with second person, it means you, and third person, it means he, she, it. So will is used to show future action with subject he, she, it and you. Like Ramu will go to village, they will complete this work, she will cook food today, he will meet you at this station. So for future action, if you talk about future, then we use will. Next use of will is showing promise or willingness. When we talk about promise, you see that promise, willingness, we talk about threatening. If we talk about determination, so for these words, when we use promise, willingness, determination, then we use will with subject I and we. Just now I said that will is used with the second and third person. Second and third person. Listen, I said that will is used with second and third person, but this is exception. You have to remember that when we talk about promise, willingness and determination and threatening, one more word is there, threatening, then we just convert the rules. With I and we use will, and rest of the subject we use shall. So here will is used to show promise, like I'll help you, we will do this work, and show determination, we will find the solution, or I will get the first prize. So this way we talk about promise and determination. Will is used to show threatening, or to threaten someone. Will is used, example, we will teach him a lesson, we will punish him. So here teach him lesson and punish him, that is showing threatening. Will is used for requesting, will you please call me later, will you please keep quiet, will you please do me a favor, or will you please speak first. So this way we use will for request also. 5 uses you have read about will. Now come to would, which is very much useful, and it is used very much in spoken as well as competitive exam. So first use, you remember that would is used as the past of will, and it is used in narration. So I told him that I would help him. So here told is the past tense, and here would is the past tense. She said to me that she would call me later. So here said is the past, that's why would is the past of will. Now come to the next point, that would is used for polite request. When we talk about polite request in present tense, then we use would and could. So here we are reading about would, usage of would. So would I am talking about, would you please wait for me, would you please wait for a second, would you please wait for a minute, would you please call me later, would you please do me a favor, or would you please keep quiet. So in this way we use would for requesting. Would is used for offering something to somebody. Would is used to offer something to somebody, like would you like something, would you like tea, would you like coffee, would you like a glass of water, would you like to join us. So to offer someone for something we use would. Would is used to ask preference or choice, that what would you like, where would you like to go, what would you like to say, which one would you like to choose. So this way we use would for choice, like what would you like to take, tea or coffee, where would you like to visit first, Ujjain or Bhopal or Indore, etc. So this way we give choice, and for giving the answer of the choice, to show the preference, we use again would, like I would like to take tea rather than coffee, I would like to have a glass of cold water, or I would love to have a glass of cold water, I would prefer to stay at home rather going to anywhere. So this way we use like, love, prefer for showing our preference or choice. If we talk about permission, then also we use would, like would you mind me sitting here, would you mind me waiting for 5 minutes here. So this way here question mark is missing here, so you have to add question mark here. Sorry, where it has gone. Yes, here question mark is missing. So instead of full stop, would you mind me waiting for 5 minutes, question mark you have to put here. Okay, the next one, you see that use of would. Already I have explained the 6th one before, so here 8 uses we have to see. 7th one, frequent action in the past, any activity which used to take place again and again in the past. So we use would for such activity, like the baker would come every day. Here instead of there are some misprints also, so this is every day, not very day, every day. The baker would come every day to sell bread. My friends would wait for me for going to school in my childhood. So we are talking about past activity which used to take place again and again. The next use of would is unreal past, to show unreal past. It means our imagination which has nothing to do with the present and the future. We are talking about imagination, like if I were a bird, I would fly high in the sky. If I were a bird, I would go here and there without any lockdown, without any restriction. Okay, I would go on world tour if I had a lot of money. I would help you if you could ask me. So here would has been used for showing past, unreal past. It means imagination which cannot be true or could not be true. Asking permission. Would you mind me sitting here? That already I have covered here. So now let's go ahead with the next use of modal, that is the shall. Shall, like will, we use for showing future. In the same way, shall is also used for showing future, but it is used with only I and we. Again the same condition like will, that we use that if we are talking about promise, determination, we are talking about threatening, and we are talking about plan. Then what we do with I and we use will. So here it will be opposite. Like with I and we will use will for promise, request, and promise and determination. But for second and third person, it means you, second person, and third means he, she, it, we use shall. This rule that is common in will and shall. Only one thing we have to remember, that generally we use we use shall with I and we. But if we talk about promise, determination, we are talking about plan, if we are talking about threatening, then it is just changed opposite. Like with I and we use shall, and with other subject we use will. So here the second rule is the same one, that with other subject we are using shall instead of will. So you shall win the prize tomorrow, he shall help me, that is promise. If I talk about determination, so here you see the determination, you shall score good marks, he shall study very hard, that is the determination of you and he. And next one you see that fourth one, command or threat. As I told you that we use just opposite of the subject. So instead of will we are using you shall not disobey your parents, he shall be punished for his mistakes, and they shall be restricted from the school for their mistakes or behavior. To know others' intention or their opinion or what their desire is there, we use shall I or shall we. Shall I rub the board? If teacher is asking to the students that shall I rub the board, so what's the meaning of that one? That teacher is asking to the student, not permission. Teacher is willing to know your desire, your opinion, what's your wish. So when we talk about others' opinion and wish, then we use shall I or shall we. Next one you see that that is the should, past of shall. So only one use is as the past of shall. Like here in narration, whenever we use shall, it is in direct. If we convert into indirect speech, then shall is converted into should. I told him that I should go home. We said that we should play a match. So here said and told is the past tense, and this is in the indirect speech. That's why should and should has been used here in this sentence. Now if we talk about the next use of should, it is to show duty or obligation. Obligation means something is compulsory as a person. So to show duty or obligation, or to show that what's right, what's wrong, we should do, we should not do, with all the person we use should. In one word you remember that to tell what's right, what's wrong, we use should. We should obey our parents. People should follow traffic rules. We should help the needy persons. These are the use of should. If you say that we should know, we should not smoke, we should not waste water, we should not waste energy, we should not trouble others, we should not break the rules. So this way we can talk about obligation and duty. Should is used for advising also. It is used to give advice, to suggest someone. You should practice hard. He should complete his work on time. She should consult a doctor if she has high fever. So this way we give advice with the help of should. I think 4 are enough for today's video, or if you feel that it is very much, then I'll reduce. If you feel that no, it's okay, then you write tomorrow in see tomorrow you can write comments, or you can give me feedback in our group where we are clearing our doubt there, that it's okay, we understood very well, then it's okay, I'll make videos such way, because many models are remaining. I have to cover all, and these are very important one for writing as well as for competitive exam and your exam also for 10th one or even 12th one. So you have to learn this very carefully, all the uses, and you give me the feedback whether you understood or not. If you have doubt, you can ask me anytime. Thank you. Have a nice day.